Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. We're continuing to review and compare devices, and you can check these updates on our Twitter community at Gadget Rev now. With iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max getting all the new features, are the upgrades for iPhone 13 and 13 mini worth it? The smallest and the least expensive of the 2021 lineup, the iPhone 13 mini, is basically an iPhone 13 in a smaller size with a smaller battery. Small phones are not dead yet, with iPhone 13 leading the way. Don't let the size fool you, because we're so used to the bigger phones getting the better specs. This phone packs a serious punch. With the enhanced cameras and improved battery life over iPhone 12 mini, this fulfills the dream for fans of smaller handsets. This is a review of iPhone 13 mini. Over the 4 iPhone 13 models, is it a good choice? Hey, don't forget to subscribe, my friend. Let's go! Let's start with the design. It is basically a cuter version of iPhone 13 models. The iPhone 13 mini looks very similar to iPhone 12 mini, with one notable change: the notch. It is about 20% smaller this year according to Apple, and it's certainly noticeable. I think that's the biggest change we have on the iPhone 13 mini in terms of design. The notch is smaller now to accommodate more screen real estate on top of the phone. The notch is still there, but it's smaller. I actually installed an iPhone 12 mini screen protector for you to see how small this is now. The iPhone 13 mini featured the same squared off edges, and the small size is easily pocketable, and I could use one hand effortlessly. All the iPhone 13 models are IP68 certified, meaning that the 13 mini can survive up to 6 meters underwater for 30 minutes. On one side you will see the power button, on top you will have the antenna, on one side you will have the power button, the mute slider, and the SIM slot, and at the bottom, it's the mic, speaker, and charging port. The flat side will enable the phone to stand on its own. Because of the smaller form factor, the camera modules looks bigger at the back because it also occupies a smaller real estate of the phone. I think it's also thicker than last year to accommodate bigger sensor. All in all, this is a dream phone for people who wants a smaller phone but as powerful as the other big boys. Hey, just a side note, if you own iPhone 13 mini or any phones you see on our channel, we're making more videos of these phones in the future. Please hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this. Next is performance. With the new A15 Bionic processor, which includes the quad-core GPU, the iPhone 13 mini is a very powerful little phone. In fact, it destroys the best Android has to offer, even the best gaming phones. The fastest processor that Android phone can use, the Snapdragon 888 and Kirin 9000, they already had a hard time keeping up with the last year's A14 Bionic, so this processor is way ahead of the competition. The new iOS 15 is also here, notifications for one have been improved, and the camera app is also smarter. It can copy-paste a text message in an image and place a call if it detects a phone number. Similar to what Android offers few years back, at least iOS is now catching up. We ran a Geekbench test and it scored a whopping 1731 in single core and 4645 in multi-cores. If you want speed comparison, it's the fastest phone I've tested so far. While the Pro models perform better across all the boards with their bigger GPUs and 50% more RAM, iPhone 13 mini does some serious work and provides the best bang for your buck. It has 3 storage options, 128, 256, and 512 gig. If you will shoot 4K videos, I will suggest you buy the 512 gigs because 128 gigs might not be sufficient for you and you might end up buying more iCloud storage. To sum up, aside from the GPU performance, which is an overkill for mobile games, iPhone 13 mini will work the same way as the Pro model. Next is the screen. The iPhone 13 mini's 5.4-inch OLED display is unchanged, but there's a big boost in brightness this year. Thanks to the OLED panel, colors are punchy and vibrant with true deep blacks. I play Mobile Legends, a very interesting experience on such a small phone, and was impressed with how well the phone rendered the graphics, even in the regular 60Hz. Was there a difference to 120Hz? I seriously don't feel it, and I would lie if I said I did. And with the max brightness of 800 nits as advertised, the iPhone 13 mini gets bright enough to see outdoors. This is great especially for photography or reading iMessages, meaning that you can actually see the photos you took and text messages even when you're standing in direct sunlight. All in all, it's a great and bright OLED screen, missing the ProMotion or the higher refresh rate. Next is the sound, and there's nothing to complain about the stereo speakers. The sound coming out of this phone is well balanced. I tested this phone with my Pixel 4 XL, and here's the test. Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. We're continuing to review. You will have absolutely great time listening to this phone, but you need a dongle or a wireless earbuds for privacy. Next is battery. The iPhone 13 minis are meant to be minimalistic, both in size and also how much you use them. If you're constantly using your phone all day, the smaller battery in the mini will not be sufficient. Of course, with a smaller size, I don't think games and movies would be as entertaining as the bigger screen. Battery life on last year's iPhone 12 mini wasn't very good, so for this year's iPhone 13 mini, Apple did the obvious thing, it made the batteries bigger. Apple claims that the regular iPhone 13 should last for a whopping 2.5 hours of usage, longer than the iPhone 12, while the mini will last an extra 1.5 hours, and it's proven true on our testing. It has a decent 20 watts fast charging, but sadly you need to buy the fast charger separately, so if you have an older charging brick, you might find the charging really slow. A MagSafe wireless charging is 15 watts, but if you have a cheaper Qi wireless charging, it would only output 7.5 watts. So the takeaway is, buy more and get better results. There's a noticeable improvement on battery life, not as long lasting as the Pro models or the regular version, but definitely a normal experience on a 2021 phone. And lastly, the camera. It is a dual camera setup of 12 megapixel main and 12 megapixel ultra wide, and although a little inferior than the Pro model, there's not much of a difference in terms of performance. Both have been upgraded, but the major improvements comes from the wide angle. Apple recycled and reused the ultra-wide sensor from iPhone 12 Pro Max, so if you own the last year's Pro Max, it will perform similar to the regular iPhone 13 of this year. I guess the takeaway is, if you have the Pro version last year, you can skip iPhone 13 or move to the Pro version again. The images are good and sharp. I noticed on my test, iPhone 13's algorithm will darken the image in exchange for sharpness. So night shots will not be as brighter as the Android competitors, but it'll be sharper for sure. Video recording is also great. It has great video stabilization and works really well on low light condition. It shoots 4K at 60 FPS both rear and front, and this is one of my favorite video recording devices. Even shot some of our content using this phone. It outputs .mov files, which is better than a compressed MP4. This phone also boasts cinematic video, which is really good and works really well for those shooting cinematic-like video on a budget. The portrait video mimics the high-end camera with bigger sensor for depth of field. All in all, there's a little to no complaints over the camera performance. Definitely one of the strongest camera phone out there. So what is Gadget Rev Now's verdict? Is iPhone 13 mini a good choice? I think this phone will serve a definite set of people, both physical and lifestyle. It is better, but comparing the improvements over some Android competitors, some of the upgrades are normal. I would not recommend this if you're coming from last year's model. Is the battery life better? Yes, but do you want to shed another grand for a simple issue that can be fixed by a power bank or a fast charger? This will also be a downgrade if you're coming from the Pro version of last year. And I will recommend this to people who wants to get the most powerful and smallest phone possible. It's the best out there. The performance is top-notch and somehow overkill. Great camera that you will only see from the Pro model of last year, and the battery life is so much better if you're a casual to average user. If you're coming from iPhone 12 mini, I don't think iPhone 13 mini is worth an upgrade. But if you're coming from something older and want a small phone, or coming from Android with the same mindset, this is basically the best that you can get. Over the 4 iPhone models, looking at the speed, camera, and the 6 years iOS update, iPhone 13 mini is a great choice, price to performance ratio. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. We're posting videos of gadget reviews, comparisons, photography gears, and tips. The goal of this channel is to review and compare devices as simple as possible, concise, and friendly. Don't forget to drop your comment, like, and share. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.